Today I'm going to talk about the book called The Power of Now. If there's only one video that you should watch on YouTube, it's this one. It can help you solve many problems such as depression, excessive worry, overthinking, anxiety, and more. The ideas in this book may be difficult to understand and accept, so please keep an open mind and listen carefully until the end. Chapter 1, You are not your mind. Your body is a powerful machine equipped with all the necessary tools, just like any other machine. You need to use the tools of your body carefully and put them back in place when you're done. If you use a tool without stopping, it will break. It seems like a simple rule to follow, but we often forget to give our most powerful tool, our mind, a break. The constant chatter in our minds is a dangerous addiction. We call it a habit when we can't say no to it. Can you stop thinking? Do you know where the off button is? If the answer is no, then you have an addiction, and it's killing you. I'm not speaking metaphorically, it's literally killing you. Overthinking is one of the main sources of pain, stress, and dissatisfaction. Everyone around us has this addiction and believes it's normal, but it's not. When you see a person talking to themselves loudly on the street, you say they're crazy, but we're not so different from that person just because we don't verbalize our thoughts. If you overthink, it becomes repetitive, useless, and negative. The tool that you should use is the one that starts using you, and you become your own mind. The author says that you can be freed from overthinking or excessive thoughts just by focusing your attention on the present moment, being present, and having everything you have. You can practice this when you're doing simple tasks. For example, while washing your hands, observe how the water falls on your hands, smell the soap, hear the sound of the water, feel the softness of the towel. At first, you'll only be able to do this for a short period, and your mind will soon bring thoughts about the past and the future back. When this happens, just observe your mind, don't judge it, don't get angry, just observe what your mind is doing. Observe it as if you're observing another person. The author calls this observing the thinker. While observing the thinker, you'll soon realize that you and your mind are not the same thing, they're two different entities. Here's your mind, and here's you observing your mind. If you practice being more present, you'll soon take control of your mind because you'll realize the tricks it uses to attract your attention. Chapter 2, Consciousness, the way to escape suffering. Since our childhood, every time we experience negativity or pain, a part of it stays within us. Until the moment they accumulate and finally turn into a monster, the author calls this the pain body. In some people, the pain body is active all the time, while in others, there are certain words and things that can awaken it. For example, sometimes you say something seemingly harmless to someone and they become very angry, maybe even violent. You look at them and cannot understand why such simple words have made them so upset. If your emotional reaction was much larger than the events or words that made you feel bad, then know that your pain body, the pain body is not you. It is a monster that lives inside you and feeds on your attention. It always tries to identify itself as you, but it is not. The pain body is part of your ego, which is a false identity created from external experiences. Almost everyone has a pain body, and the important thing is to catch it before it takes over. If you are present, you will be able to feel when it arises. Sometimes it will be a very depressive feeling, and other times it will be anger, and you will catch yourself imagining how you would like to hit someone. And other times it will be fear. So when your pain body awakens, remain where you are and observe. Do not judge or analyze it. From the moment you recognize it as the pain body and start observing it, it will no longer be able to control you. By being present, you illuminate the darkness, and the pain body cannot live in the presence of light. If you don't believe me, let's do an experiment. I will stop talking for a few seconds, and during this period, observe your mind and tell me what thoughts arise. Observe your mind like a cat waiting for a mouse to come out of its hiding place. Did you have any thoughts? Are you sure? Even if it was just a little while before a thought appeared. This is the power of now, this is being present. As you can see, when you are present, your mind cannot control you. In Chapter 3, Entering the Now, time and the mind are inseparable. If you remove the mind from this equation, then time disappears. Imagine there are no human beings on the planet, only plants and animals. If you go up to an eagle and ask, "Hey, do you know what time it is?" The eagle will reply, "Time? What's that? I only know the now." Past and future are like the moon. The moon has no light of its own, it receives light from the sun. Similarly, the past and future receive their light from the now. There is no other time that you live in besides the present moment. When this becomes clear to us, we can use time as a practical tool. The author calls this clock time. For example, If you have a goal that you want to achieve in a year, then you are using time for practical purposes. However, if you constantly think about your end goal and forget the present, then you are using psychological time. Psychological time is the memories of our past and our projections into the future. If you are not aware of this, you can end up living in psychological time. The source of all stress is based on thinking about what happened in the past and what will happen in the future. I used to live in the future, wanting to get there as quickly as possible because I thought the past was very bad and that I would be happier in the future. When you live in the future, if you give up in the present moment, you stop enjoying it and start desiring what you don't have, and not appreciating what you already have, which creates a contradiction. You begin to hate your life. In your life, ask yourself, everything you do is with the purpose of reaching a destination. You feel that you will be happy only when you get that job, and you feel that you will only be complete when you achieve your goal. If you are always waiting for something to happen to feel fulfilled, reaching the destination never leads to happiness. For example, let's say your biggest goal is to climb Everest. Would you be happy if a helicopter dropped you off at the top of Everest? I'm sure the answer is no. Happiness is not about reaching the top or staying at the base. Happiness is in the journey. Therefore, just relax and deal with the present moment that is in front of you. You will solve future problems when they come. Don't let your mind take over. If suddenly all your problems disappear, after a few days, your mind will start creating new problems. In fact, the mind needs time to create problems. For example, if suddenly a wild animal appears in the middle of your house, you will have a challenge. You may need to run or get hurt. But if you don't call this situation a problem, because for something to become a problem, time is needed for your mind to think about the situation and identify it as a problem. If you are still not convinced, please answer this question. Can you tell me what problem you have at this exact moment, not in an hour or tomorrow? I'm sure you can't think of anything, because if you had a problem now, you would be focused on solving it instead of watching this video. The author says he has even received letters from prisoners who have received life sentences saying they found their freedom through his question. These questions make us realize that we have no problems now. When we see challenges or situations that need to be managed, it may be difficult to understand, but after you achieve it, everything will change. Personally, for me, this was the part of the book that made me say ha ha or just kidding, because I am not there yet. Before everything, start being present with small exercises such as when you are cooking, waiting for the elevator, or taking a shower. Over time, you will spend more time in the present moment. You can also meditate for 10 minutes a day, which will help you see how often your mind deceives you. When you catch yourself being outside the present moment, you become present. This realization is already a great victory. If you think everyone should watch this video, please like, share, and comment so that YouTube shows it to more people. I don't always ask this, but I really believe it is important for everyone to reflect on this topic. It wouldn't matter if people didn't watch my videos except for this one, because what's the point of success and productivity if you are unhappy, worried, stressed, and unable to enjoy the moment? You can also check the description for more information. Thank you for watching.